all homicidal tendencies aside, will the Batman movie be good? Let's find out. Hi guys, Rocky here with a little bit of movie entertainment news for you. I just found out that Ben Affleck has been pushing back up against Warner Brothers in an attempt to make sure that the Bat script comes out hopefully better than anybody else is expecting. Because as for me, I'm expecting for the upcoming DC movies in general to just be awful, because they have been. I've had absolutely no good experiences aside from maybe a little chuckle here and there from the Suicide Squad. But other than that, I haven't really had a good case of fun like I've had with the Avengers or anything Marvel has put out. In an interview with The Guardian, Ben Affleck said, "It's not a set thing," meaning the Bat movie is not a set thing. And there's no script. If it doesn't come together in the way I think is really great, I'm not going to do it. Now, what this tells me is that Ben Affleck really, really cares about this character, which is more than I can say for a lot of people who have been working in the most recent DC movies, namely Zack Snyder, who doesn't really care about the characters as a whole. He just cares about the visualization of the characters. And while he does have a beautiful vision when it comes to scenery, background color, and, well, I can't say color because Superman, Man of Steel, and Batman vs. Superman were both pretty depressing in that sense. The characterizations are more important, and I like to hear that Ben Affleck cares about the character more than he does just rolling out another Bat movie, which is something that Warner Brothers is really trying to push hard for him to do. Warner Brothers has set this movie to come out in 2018, early 2018 as I understand it, and Ben Affleck said it's not set. If it's not ready, he's not going to do it. And this is kind of great news for me to hear. It's kind of the same situation that Ryan Reynolds was put in when making Deadpool. And now he's pushing back in the same sense because the producers of Deadpool, mainly Fox, want to push for him to release that movie while the iron is hot, while he's stating that the character should remain true to comic book source material and how important it is for that to come through in the visualized image of the movies. Ben Affleck has recently talked about many a time how he is willing to wait out to find the perfect script that suits this Batman, pun intended. He stated recently that we still have to get a screenplay and get it together. I'm a real believer in not reverse engineering projects to meet a window or a date, but rather when you get the right story, the right idea, the right thing, then you make the movie. That's what we're doing, and I'm hoping to get that done. I'm spending a lot of time working on that, but also working on other stuff, which is great news because he is also working with Geoff Johns, who has done comic books for nearly 2 decades. And he's been working with Greg Berlanti on the Warner Brothers TV shows, the CW TV shows, namely Flash, Arrow, DC Legends, etc., and now Supergirl included in that list. And with that, I am actually getting more optimistic when it comes to this movie. So hopefully The Batman is going to be the Batman movie that we all deserve and that we've all been waiting for. Another quote that was part of the interview was him explaining to the producers as well as to other journalists that he is not going to write or direct anything that he doesn't think is good enough to be made. He's definitely going to make sure to have something that is special. There's not enough money in the world that could make him make a mediocre version of Batman. That's absolutely beautiful. I am a huge proponent in not just forking these movies out. Even though it kind of seems like Marvel is kind of forking them out, it's because they've had kind of a lot of time to set their cards in order before they throw them down on the table. Where DC is actually doing the opposite. They're throwing them down on the table and then later trying to get them in order because of the reaction of the rest of the players in the game. Now, Warner Brothers is really adamant about pushing another Batman because it's a guaranteed money maker. But Ben Affleck has gone down as saying, if I could, there's nothing I'd love more than to direct a standalone, iconic, great Batman movie. But it's been done. Chris Nolan did 3 really great movies. I'm mindful of that. I'm not in any hurry to jam the mediocre movie down the pipe. I really want to make sure that if we do it, we get a great version and one that is worthy of the tradition of guys like Tim Burton, Chris Nolan, and Christian Bale. Now, I don't know about Tim Burton, but Chris Nolan, definitely. Aside from his third movie, his first two were fantastic. I actually really liked them a lot. The second one obviously being the best due to Heath Ledger's wonderful performance and portrayal of the Joker. But yeah, so this is just really good news. Now, Ben Affleck was praised, has earned actually the praise from making movies like The Town, Argo, and Gone Baby Gone. But his name's been tarnished, you could say, by his previous clunkers, namely Daredevil and Reindeer Games, Armageddon, several others. Nothing to the detriment of his career, because obviously he's more successful now than he was then. But being in the superhero spotlight kind of puts him in that wheelhouse as far as will he succeed? And people immediately think, Ben Affleck, superhero. What about Daredevil? He sucked in that. Will he suck in Batman? Well, I've seen Batman v Superman, and while the movie itself sucks, the portrayal that Ben Affleck portrayed as Bruce Wayne and as Batman were top-notch, aside from the bad writing that completely negated the core characteristic of what Batman represents. That being said, I do and am looking forward to a new Batman movie directed and acted by Ben Affleck. Are you guys ready for a new Batman movie? If you could cast anybody else in this besides Ben Affleck, who would you cast? Do you think this movie's going to be good? If you do, leave some comments down below, let me know, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.